Hey guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Well, that was one shit sandwich of a game right there. Going into yesterday, Jerry Jones said that Jason Garrett was safe. And I said, unless things went way, way south, where it just looked really, really bad, there was no chances of being done during the season. Well, right now, things look pretty bad. Really bad. And losing to the Jets has got to hurt. It's got to leave a bad taste in Jerry Jones's mouth. And now we're seeing a lot of people, ghosts of Jason Garrett's past, come around. First of all, Mike Fisher just posted a tweet. Jerry Jones on Garrett and stuff. I haven't even glanced there in my mind about long-term future. I'm looking in the future and all as next week against those Eagles. Let me say it again. Jerry Jones on Garrett and stuff. I haven't even glanced there in my mind about long-term future. I'm looking in the future as next week against those Eagles. So here's the thing. Jason Garrett's coaching for his job. Cowboys lose next week, you got a bye week before the Giants. Jason Garrett's gone. If the Cowboys lose to the Eagles, Jason Garrett's gone. You can best believe that. At this point, that's where it is. You may think I'm crazy, but read between the lines on that one. Jerry Jones on Jason Garrett and stuff. I haven't even glanced there in my mind about a long-term future. I'm looking in the future as next week against the Eagles. If that's not putting it in black and white, I don't know what is. And here's where you're starting to hear things. You know, everybody's tweeting at Bryant. At Bryant, you on firing Jason Garrett train as well? He said that's none of my business, was his comment. But you had DeMarcus Ware literally just screaming on Instagram about the loss. And then you have T.O. coming out. Hey, at Real Jerry Jones, still think Jason Garrett is the answer? For a decade now, it's the same old song and dance. I knew they were going to Jason Witten on third down prior to the TD, and I knew they were going to him on the second point conversion. Not too late to bring me back. Laughing face. Wow. Jerry Jones, I'm disappointed. I didn't think this would happen. He's not putting loss solely on the coaches. He said it's a problem across the board. When specifically asked about Jason Garrett's future, I'm not even coming close to those future types considerations. So, read into that as you will. Oh, one other last thing, too. A couple of Cowboys wanted no parts of high-fiving their coach during the loss to the Jets. What we said is the only way Jason Garrett loses his job is if he loses the team. Last year when the team was 3-5, the team stuck together. The team came together and went on a win streak. If that is a fact, I didn't see that. That players were, Jason Garrett's going to high-five them and they're not high-fiving them. If the team is beginning to crater and you've lost the coach and the confidence of it, then you have to make a change. You've lost 3 games in a row. Here's the thing about this loss. There's so many things that, first of all, against the Jets, it shouldn't have been close. But this happens in football. Sometimes teams win against teams they're not supposed to. The Cowboys at 1-15 beating the Redskins. That was a game that we shouldn't have won, but we did. That happens. But we look at, this is the thing that I keep running in my head that's driving me crazy. Because this is deja vu from last year. I remember against the Redskins, 3rd down and less than a yard. And every time we have 3rd down and short, it's always Zeke Elliott. But here in my mind is my problem. Okay? You watch New England and Tom Brady. If it's under a yard, you're doing a quarterback sneak every time. And they get it every time. Because the advantage is to you to get that. You're not going to go ahead and go 10 yards on a quarterback sneak. But you're going to get about a yard. Because you know when the ball's coming. Okay? It's basically you in the center jumping out. The rest of the defense does not have time to react. You're right there. The center, you basically you go like this to the center, as in hike the ball, I'm ready for it, and you're jumping forward. The defense doesn't have enough time to react on that. Okay, but here's the problem. We don't do that. What we do is we do a dive. The quarterback hikes the ball under center, turns around, going backwards with the ball, where Zeke Elliott is 5 yards back, where he's now getting a running start. The problem is, in the time it takes you to run back, the defense has a chance to react and fire ahead. And when they fire ahead, basically we call it a turtle move because we get real low and try and get underneath the offensive lineman. You're just lunging ahead and trying to take up space. And that's giving the linebackers time to fill in and see what's going on. And more times than not, we get stopped on that shit. That right there, you had this much to go. It was 3rd down. You pick up that 1st down, you're 1st and goal. Instead, now we've lost yardage. It's 4th and 2, and now you're trying to run outside on an option. That play killed us. You look at the hold on Jason Witten being held behind. That call that wasn't called. Should have been pass interference. You look at all of the times that Dak Prescott was lit up and didn't get unnecessary roughness calls. You look at so many things that happened. Meyer missing the field goal, or the offensive pass interference. That's the one, another one that kills us. We're killing Meyer, but if that offensive pass interference isn't called, which I'm still looking at that and trying to understand how, even they questioned it on the TV, how that's called. If that's not done, you got a touchdown instead of a field goal. We win. I get this thing. But it shouldn't have been that close to the Jets. But if the team is now not having faith in Garrett as a leader, and it sounds like Twitter is lighting up that Jason Garrett's fired, or going to be fired, I will say that this week could be the last week of Jason Garrett if the Cowboys lose to the Eagles. I think that's exactly what Jerry Jones just said. Let me go back to it one more time, because I see everybody trolling. Terrell Owens is really lighting it up. Going to be a tough week in Dallas. Yes, y'all stink. Y'all still think Jason Garrett is the answer. So predictable. Terrell Owens is going on. Okay. Even Skip Bayless. Idiotic 4th and 2 call. Unkicked field goal. Missed field goal. Lose. Defense lifeless. Team not ready to play again. Jason Garrett reminds of liability. Get Jason Garrett the F out of here. A man who fired Tom Landry his first day on the job is stuck with Jason Garrett for a decade. Wow. I can't argue with any of these. I've tried to think differently, but I can't. But for the last time, I want to read this again. Where is it? Hold on. I haven't even glanced there in my mind about a long-term future. I'm looking in the future as next week against those Eagles. He just told you. He's not firing this week. You lose against the Eagles, you're gone. That's it. Game over. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I got a reaction video or a rant video from E2 Blue, DMV Dallas Cowboys, Daniel and myself outside in the parking lot before we left, but I think it's important to put this up. I'll put it up before I go to sleep. But I think Jason Garrett, it's win or go home time. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, it's time to turn out the lights. This party's over. I'll see you guys in the morning. Thank you for being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Everybody who did a super chat today, we're going to be doing a drawing tomorrow night on the show for a Joe Boo shirt. That is, if any of you guys still want Cowboys gear. And I got to find my shotgun microphone, so if the sound wasn't good, I apologize.